I'm the best-selling author of the book Triumph in the Midst of Adversity. I'm a life coach and I'm a strategic consultant, and I'm a leadership and management expert, and I'm also a publisher and also the author of the best motivational book ever written. If you want to see some other books I've published, you could check on my website. I'm also a publisher, as I said. I'm also an author, so I write books and I publish books, and I'm also a life coach. Okay, so for those of you who need a coach, a personal coach for confidence building, for personal development, or you need a coach to help you to achieve your goals, if you become overwhelmed with the life challenges that you're going through, then you are the right place. And if you want to get in touch, it's info@triumphinthemidstofadversity.com. I'm going to leave this underneath the description so you'll be able to get the right email address. And you can check my website also for more work we've done with other projects, and you can also check Google review for our testimonials. It's www.triumphinthemidstofadversity.com. And if you click down, you'll be able to see the Google review. All right, because it's good you know what other clients have said concerning our business before you take that step to work with us. All right, thank you. So today I still want to talk about how you can stop racism. The awesome book that came due to the feeling of the fear, the pain rather, the pain, the trauma I felt when I saw that police officer put his leg on the neck of George Floyd and that man passed away. That was in the first lockdown. It was very traumatic. It was something that really touched me. I cried out and I prayed that there must be justice, which there is, but also I also believe that we'll have to do something more, not just dealing with the the present situation, but how to prevent it from occurring in the future. That was why I called on a meeting, urgent meeting, webinar with some business colleagues and friends, and we, on how, we can do something to help to stop racism. And that was how the title of this book came, because initially it was just a meeting, just the pain I was feeling, and looking for solution. And later I called them back and said, listen, the meeting we had a lot of tips, lot of, quality examples and vital tools we can use to stop racism. So I believe that discussion is good, but I want to take it a step further. And I invited them to co-author the book with me, because it won't be fair that I just write the book and, use both my own part of the discussion and theirs to write a book. That's not fair, because I'm a fair person. I have to call them to ask them if they'll be interested to co-author the book. And finally, 3 of us have written the book that's come to change lives, that have come to remove the pain that your forefathers went through, that was transferred to our great-grandparents, that was also transferred to our grandparents and transferred to our parents, and we are presently suffering from that pain, that ailment, and even our children have also started, suffering from the same ailment. And now the question now is, do you want to transfer this ailment to your grandchildren? Because your children are already here, they've met racism. But do you want to transfer it to your grandchildren? For those of you who are yet to have your children and your grandchildren, this is the question you must answer. And for those who already have your grandchildren, do you want to die on this earth, living this problem, this ailment, racism, this pandemic that is worse than COVID-19, worse than Ebola? Do you want to die and leave your children with this and your grandchildren to see this and live with racism? The question I've asked you, I must say that the answer should be a no from you. And if you think that I'm right, just give me a thumbs up and share this video, because we are here for change. We must move forward. This is what kept Africa where it is today. Someone was telling me all Nigeria have bad leadership. I do agree. Yes, we have bad leadership. But I also believe that you and I have a role to play in the bad leadership that we have today in Nigeria. Because we were the one voting the leaders in, isn't it? When we gave you a bag of rice and the 5,000 naira or bag of money to your to people in your locality, or to you as an individual, you took them in, isn't it? And you casted your vote to someone you knew that it cannot even rule his own family and is ruling a nation. Because for me, if my father was a politician, for example, and he's campaigning or contesting for presidency or governorship, and I actually look at him as a father that is not even able to lead his family, I will go out there and vote someone else. I'm telling you, he might decide not to pay my fees, that's his choice. He might decide to ask me to leave the house, that is his choice. but I will not go against my conscience to vote my dad if I believe that he's not a good leader. But how many of you Nigerians, how many of you human out there have this quality, can say no to your best friend and to say no to your own parents, to your own children that you love so much, provided you know that their intention is not right? If the intention for doing anything is wrong, I don't care how close you are to that person, you shouldn't be in support of it. That is what led to this book, how you can stop racism. I didn't plan to write a book on racism. If I show you the list of my book titles, you will know. You could see the fear on his face. He knew something was going to happen to him. He knew this police officer were up to something, and he was all the time pleading. That guy was gentle. He never harassed the officers. There was no form of forceful attack or defense. I never saw that. He was just pleading all the way. But did the pleading help him? No. Did it do anything for him? No. It died on that, even though he was pleading. That is what I must say to you. You must stand, by what you believe in. I believe in justice. I believe in love. I don't care what you think, but I believe in all these things I'm telling you about, and I believe in that justice must stand. And thank God, justice too for George Floyd. But his blood is being shed, and I want to tell you that the blood of that man should be a full stop to racism in this nation. The blood of George Floyd should be the blood that no more, is enough is enough. That was what his blood should be crying. Enough is enough. For all of you who went out there on the street of George Floyd on that day to cry for justice, to carry the flag, Black Lives Matters, every one of you that knew that you've been faced with racial discrimination one way or the other, whether you're white or black, and you are there today, I want you to click underneath this video to pre-order your copy of this book, How You Can Stop Racism. Enough is enough. It's enough. It's not the time to push fingers, to point fingers and to push blame. No, portion blame to anyone. No. This is the time for action, guys. We must do this together. I can't do it all by myself. I need you to take action now. And the good news is that it's 50% discount. So if you pre-order now, you'll be paying half the price. If you don't do it now, that means you will never do it. If you cannot buy it for 50% discount, you will never pre-order your copy. So now, don't say later, don't say I'm busy. No more excuses. Excuses have kept us in different areas of our life, kept us behind. Don't apply that to this course, because this is a course that we must pursue and we must win. So click underneath this video and pre-order your copy immediately, because it will be going to full price, as I said. And also I'm talking to organizations as well, managers, leaders, directors of companies. Please, once the paperback is out, I want you to pre-order your copies. You know the size of your company. If your company have 20 people, or maybe 100 people, and you know how many departments you have, and you know the size of each of your department, order the book based on the size of your department, to ensure that every member of your staff read that book. Read it back to back, the way you read your policy book. This is so important as well. So your staff must read this book. New employee and past employee, and they must sign. There's a section for you to put down your name and put in your signature, because you must be accountable. You must be accountable. You must take this. You must understand how people feel. And before you treat anyone in any way, before you have a discussion with anyone from a different race, ask yourself this key question. If I was in her shoes, how will I feel? This discussion I want to have, is it a fair discussion? This discussion I want to have with this person, if the person was of my color, will I be having the same discussion? Or if I'm going to have the same discussion with someone of my color, am I going to approach the subject the same way I'm approaching it with this person that is of color? If you can tell yourself all this and make sure be honest to yourself, and I'm telling you this, if you were born racist, I must say that racists can be learned and unlearned. If you were born into a family where there was serious racism and you picked it up from there, don't give up. There's help for you in this awesome book. This book is not just to fight racism, it's to help you as a racist to understand that you have a problem, but there's a solution for you right in this book. I'm not time to blame you for being a racist, but I'm here to help you to overcome your racial discrimination and turn your racial discrimination to love. And self-love, because you must love yourself first before you can love others. And for you, for someone of my color, please love yourself. There's time for time for examination, okay? And we have grown past, limitation as well. And the solution we've come together to give you to eradicate racism is on the equity system. The what is the racial equity system. The racial equity system comprises of 10 steps. 10 steps you have to take, things you need to work on yourself to be able to eradicate racism. It's simple. The things you will just, under 1 minute, you will understand it and get it done. But in coaching, there's a saying that says, you do not know what you do not know. Do you understand this? And the acronym for it is DRAG. DRAG, Black Lives Matters, Time for Examination, and Self-Confidence. DRAG as DRAAGG. Then Black Lives Matters, Time for Examination, and Self-Confidence. And if you like what you've heard today, you say, Kate, I support this. We will not just be complaining. Because for some of you out there, all you do is to do the talk. You talk. You don't want to take action. You will say this thing is bad. But if you see someone who wants to help in that area, you will keep your face on the other side. As if it's not your problem anymore. As if it's not something you bother about. Let £2.99 not be something that will stop you from supporting this cause. You cannot be asking people for what you cannot give to them. The family that lost their loved ones. Put yourself in their shoes. That someone wants to solve a problem, or a team of people want to solve a problem that costs your son or your husband or your friend or or anyone on your street to lose their life. Someone you know or someone you heard about. And now they are asking you to pre-order a copy that will help you to stop this problem with £2.99. Come on. Don't be a sabotage. And don't be the only one that want to kick against this. Don't say, oh, it's been there before we were born. It's been there for centuries. What make you think that this one is the... Yes, it can be there for millions of years before now. Because there's something that's in the book that is different that everyone out there have never done before. Okay? It's not just a book to tell you, to point out your faults, to tell you the way forward, what you do differently. Not just that is good. There are excellent books on racism. But this is the one that says enough is enough and we must put a full stop. Not a comma. We must put a full stop and we must make people to be accountable. We must push it to the governmental bodies, every institution, universities, work, organization, charity organization, name it. They're going to be part of this. So don't be the one that is left out, okay? Pre-order your copy now. As I said, 50% discount is going on now, but after now it will be full price. It's not about money, it's about the change. So do it now. If you look at my ebook, the ebook of this book, if you look on Amazon, you see what the price is. If you check on Amazon, you see the price of this ebook. For this book, How You Can Stop Racism, is the cheapest book I've ever written. Why? Because I just want everyone to be able to get a copy. Don't say, oh, it's too much. No. If you want to buy an ice cream in the store, this money cannot even buy you a nice ice cream. So why would you use excuses? £2.99 will not kill you. Don't say I don't have money now. Don't say until month end. Everyone have £2.99 in their account. Yes or no? £2. If you give £2.99 to a beggar on the street, you feel guilty, don't you? I do. When I give them coins these days, I feel guilty because you know the price of stuff in the shop. So what are we saying here? Take action. Be part of this change. And let me just share a few of this, equity system with you, the racial equity system. One is, do not allow others to define who you are. For you out there, you might be feeling inferior because of what people have called you. I had a friend who lived in the North Kent area of the UK when she was growing up, and she said to me that her foster father was very supportive. She was living in a neighborhood where she was the only black kid in the school, and it wasn't a funny journey for her. She went through a lot. She actually confided in me that at the end of the day she had to go for therapy. I pray she'll be able to review this book. One of the reviewers that will review this book, I just hope she'll be able to do that, because we need to understand what this is. Or are we talking about Damilola Taylor, the boy that the mother and the father decided that let this boy come abroad with a sister who was suffering from epilepsy, so the mother can find help for the sister here. And just a couple of months after, Cash, you are a parent watching me today. Put yourself in the shoes of these people. Don't say, oh, Kate, it doesn't really matter. It matters. Be your brother's keeper. Do not allow the pain of what goes on in your room, in your family, in your immediate environment be the only thing that touches you. I don't know how people sleep. I'm here in the UK with light, electricity, but I know days and years I sat down and I lay down my bed and I'm visualizing my country, my village, how people live in the dark, how people cannot have their way to find their way to the hospital, how when you get to the hospital, the first thing that we ask you is money instead of saving your life. I remember when I rushed my mother-in-law rather to the hospital years ago. The first thing as we were going, I also remember that I had to put 50k in my bag. If I didn't go with money that day, they wouldn't even see her, even though she was at the point of death. Can you imagine this? This is what we went through in Africa. We didn't do anything and we are still suffering to that. Now everybody's complaining. You're carrying your bag, you are running to Europe. But for racism, where will you run to? Tell me. Where will you run to? And even with running abroad from African problem, you must agree with me there is no more a solution now. Carrying your bag, packing your bag and running away from Africa is no more the answer to our problem. It's time to face it. So now face racism and let's abolish it. We must eradicate racism. My grandchildren will not come to this world to experience racism. Let racism be something of the past. If you are one of those people that say, Kate, yes, I support this cause, my grandchildren will not experience racism. And if they're already here, your grandchildren already here, tell yourself that your children, your grandchildren will see racism being abolished. Those are the people I want to talk to today. Those are the people I want to take action. Click underneath this video now and pre-order your copy. And those of you who will read the ebook and say, yes, Kate, I also want the paperback, let me know. I'll give you a discount. You get the paperback as well. But every organization you are working, start telling them now that there's a book coming that we must get in this company if you are not a racist organization. Because any anti-racist organization must have this book. If you are a racist organization, you must get this book because there's help for you now. This book must be in every organization in the UK. All right? And even the United States as well will push it there as well. But we must get it right here. Everybody will be comfortable to work in any environment, to live wherever you want to live, despite the color of your skin, and you'll be able to thrive. You'll be able to live your life. Okay? That is what we want to see. Is this Stephen? Is this Stephen Lawrence? That boy also that was killed. Two white men running after him and said, What, nigger? And they killed him. Which one are we going to mention? Is it Breonna Taylor in the United States? Listen, guys. Or is it my dear Oprah, who was 6 years old and went to live with the mom as a maid? And the owner of the house, the people the mother was working for, refused Oprah from sleeping in their house because of her skin color. Can you imagine? This is rubbish, guys. This is irritating. I don't know how you feel. I feel like throwing up, guys. Racism is something we must abolish. It's disgusting. Even you, as a racist, I'm going to put a link to a video in this book that when you watch it, you will know that, listen, I give up on racism. Racism will put you in a bad place even as a racist. Not just for people who are the victims, right? It's also a problem for you who is not somebody of a color, or somebody that is not being attacked, or is not a victim rather. You see what I mean? So it's a problem for both the racist and the victim. So why must you leave a problem that is affecting everyone? It's affecting you as well as a racist, because for you to be a racist in the first place, you have so much problem with you. And the solution in this awesome book. Buy it now and help yourself before this racist issue will put you in a bad place. Racial discrimination will put you in a bad place. You see what he did to that guy in the video I just told you about. That video link will be in this book, so you'll be able to watch it as well. And after, do not allow others to define who you are, define you. You also talk about respect. If you respect yourself, if you respect yourself, that's when you can respect others. So the first thing now is for you to respect yourself, because when you don't respect people, it means you don't respect yourself. That's a fact. You might not understand this. Respect human life. You cannot put your knee on somebody's neck and let the person die. You say you are doing a job. What kind of job is that? Is that a job? If you were told that when you kill somebody of color, you will be facing firing squad, will you do it again? You can see that racism is a disease. It is a disease. And I want to talk to you about re-educating ourselves. The drag is D-R, as I said, and 2 R rather. D-R-R, then A-A, right? So the second R is to re-educate ourselves. We must re-educate ourselves. Whatever you've been told as a child growing up, whatever you have learned from your parents, from your environment, from the media, that brought you to where you are today as a racist or as a victim of racism. Because sometimes you are a victim of racism, and because you're in an environment where you are a minor, you don't even speak out. You can't speak out because you want to protect yourself, want to protect your job. I get that. But in this book, you'll be able to know what to do and the way to move forward to help yourself. So let me not take too much of your time, guys. Just click underneath this video and pre-order your copy now. If you are not someone who have come to spoil and destroy this world, or to watch this world destroy, then you must take action now. Because let me tell you this. Martin Luther King said, for someone who sees something that is evil, and you keep silent, right? You don't do anything about it. You are as good as someone who is plotting the evil themselves. So if you are not, even say you are not a racist, and you are seeing people around you, and you know that on this earth that racism is actually a problem, and now there is a way to eradicate racism, and you are saying, okay, do you know what? I don't really care. At my workplace, the people of white people actually like me. People from other national or other race actually like me. They appreciate who I am. I'm very friendly with them. Then you are being a selfish person, and you are being the problem that we have. You are even worse than the racists themselves. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just about you, guys. It's not just about you and I. It's about us. That's why I say how you can stop racism. It's not about how they can stop racism, but how you can stop racism. That means you have a role to play in this book. In this problem of racism, there's a role for you. And I will come another day to talk about our Nigerian leadership as well. Because when everybody start pointing fingers, apportioning blame, what happened? Nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened. If you do not know this, check it out. Since you have been complaining about the problem going on in your country, Nigeria, which is my country as well. All the things you've been complaining about, talking without doing anything. What have you resolved? Nothing. So that is why you must do something for this to happen. Because I personally will not accept racism. And I will not let my grandchildren to inherit racism. And I will not allow my children to live on this earth without seeing change. Without seeing racism abolished. No. I want my children will be talking about racism. They want to be saying, oh, when there was racism in the Western world or in Africa or in any part of the world, this was how things used to be done. But thank God for this change. That is what we want to be doing. We want to, when we are mentioning or talking about racism, we want to address it as something of the past. Yes, we can address racism as something of the past. The job has been done so easy for us. So now is a little more job we need to do. And what? Racism will be a thing of the past. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. For those of you who are watching my show and you are not subscribing, what is stopping you? Subscribe now. Is free of charge, guys. No money. You don't need any money. Some of them say, oh, I want to subscribe, I don't have money. You don't need to pay. And when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell right there in front of you, that bell there. Yeah? Hit it now so you don't miss videos like this. Educate yourself. Listen to things that will change your life. Don't just get things excited. Yeah, it's good to watch funny videos, but come to my channel and grow so you don't remain stuck in one spot and start saying, oh, I'm sick. Oh, my mom, losing my mind. I'm frustrated. I'm overwhelmed. It's because you have not been watching the right channel. So this is the right channel for you. If you're someone that's willing to overcome your life struggles, or someone who wants to grow, somebody who wants to have tips on success, somebody who wants to really live their life and live a fulfilled life, this is where you must come. Thank you and bye-bye. Love you lots as always. Bye.